Hello everyone, it is Tiffany of Clarity, Confidence, Courage. I am a women's life coach that specifically focuses on helping women that have gone through a divorce transition and create a life that they love by getting really clear on what they desire, building up their confidence and their self-esteem, and having the courage to take bold action. Today, we are going to be talking about how to do an emotional detox. Now, the reason I bring this up is because I can remember a time when I was married and going through my divorce and going through that transition where I was thinking to myself, I just want to get in my car and drive away and never come back and just create a whole new identity for myself. I mean, I was literally fantasizing about dumping my entire life because I was so drained and so tired. And what I did not realize was that I needed an emotional detox. Clearly, I wasn't just going to dump my life and give up everybody and walk away, but I needed to get an emotional detox as I was going through that transition. And even after that transition, I still needed an emotional detox to deal with all of the things that was coming up for me during that time. So today, we're going to be talking about what an emotional detox is, why you may need it, especially if you're transitioning or you're living your life after divorce, and how to actually do an emotional detox. All right, so stay tuned. As always, make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and let other women know about this channel, whether they're going through a divorce or they're thinking about going through a divorce or they're just going through a tough life transition. A lot of what I talk about is helping women get crystal clear on creating a beautiful life that they love and taking the action they need to move forward. All right? Let's talk about it. So what is an emotional detox exactly? Well, an emotional detox is similar to a physical detox. So a lot of times when people think about detoxing their body, they talk about purging out all the toxins and, waste in their colon out of their body so they can start fresh and new and feel better. Well, an emotional detox is very similar. It's purging out the negative emotions inside of your mind, your emotions, and yes, even your body, even your cells can hold emotion. So it's about purging that out. And don't get me wrong, feelings of sadness, frustration, overwhelm, anxiety, that's a part of being a human being. We all feel those feelings at one time or another. But when it gets to the point where you feel that all the time, you literally wake up and hate your life and say, and you're constantly in that space, in a bad mood, feeling frustrated, feeling overwhelmed, it may be time for you to have an emotional detox. So what I'm going to talk about is how you can see the symptoms early so that you don't let yourself get to the point where it gets so bad you can't really even function anymore. You can start seeing the signs early. And then we're going to talk about what you can do to start the process of an emotional detox. So let's talk about some of the symptoms you may have that might indicate that you need an emotional detox. Now, I talked about sadness and overwhelm, but I don't just mean sometimes feeling sad or sometimes feeling overwhelmed. I'm talking about having long bouts of sadness or anxiety, that feeling of hypervigilance, feeling drained all the time. Some signs could be that you're having issues sleeping. I know I go through different phases sometimes where my brain is going so fast that I literally cannot sleep at night. And that's when I tell myself, okay, I need to settle down and get grounded. It's time for an emotional detox. It can be insomnia. It can be crying for no reason out of the blue. And don't get me wrong, ladies, sometimes, of course, when it comes to women, our hormones might be behind that. But when it's constantly, when it's not just that time of the month, when it's all the time, you're literally just crying for no reason, it may be that you have to have an emotional detox. You also may want to do an emotional detox when you've gone through a transition, of course, like a divorce, or someone has died, or your children have moved out of the house. These are all things that can really bring up a lot of emotions that we really didn't realize that were kind of sitting there in our subconscious mind or inside of our body that need to come out. One of the biggest signs that you may need an emotional detox that people don't realize is through your physical body. When you start getting sick and have a cold that won't go away, when you start getting aches and pains, when you go to the doctor and doctor's like, your blood pressure is high, even though you feel like, oh, I feel like my normal self, it could be that you have gotten so used to the stress in your life and your body is screaming. It is literally saying, we need help. We are in pain. We are stressed out. And yes, your blood pressure is high, or you might have issues with your weight, or you may have issues, with your cells or some type of sickness that is coming out because you're stressed out and you need an emotional detox. So a big sign that you need an emotional detox can come from your body literally telling you, hey, you need to slow down. You need to get crystal clear on what's going on here. We need to talk. We need an emotional detox. So now let's talk about some ways that you can emotionally detox, that you can get those icky, low level feelings and negative feelings outside of you and really reflect on what is going on, what is keeping you stuck. The first thing I'm going to say is change your environment. Now, I know that sounds kind of weird, but hear me out. When it comes to our physical environment, really what our physical environment is on the outside affects us deeply. If you are living in a house and it is a mess, like everything is disorganized, there's garbage all over the place, clothes are all over the place, nothing is clean, it is going to affect you emotionally. You will not be able to think straight. You think you can, but it's very difficult to function in a messy environment where there's a lot of clutter or uncleanliness. So the first thing you need to do, if you're in a situation where you're in a messy environment, you need to start cleaning it up, getting it organized. I mean, this is not just me talking. Research has shown this, that when people start to get their actual environments cleaned up, it affects them emotionally. It actually makes you feel better because it literally is pulling up stress off of your emotions, off of your mindset. Now, if you're like, well, Tiffany, my environment is tidy and clean, another way to change your environment may be to actually move your environment. So if you are living with someone and you're ready to move and you need to find a place to stay, then go ahead and find somewhere else to live. If you're living in a place that you don't like, if you live in a very, cold area and you're like, this cold is making me depressed and I know it and I go through this terrible winter every year, it might be time for you to sell your house and move. And I know that sounds drastic, but the point is your environment affects your emotional environment on the inside. If you're living with someone and you're always arguing, and whether it's a family member or friend or whoever, it might be time for you to find another place to live. Now, if you're in a situation where you can't immediately change your environment, then go somewhere for a short period of time. Maybe you don't necessarily want to move house or go to a different state or whatever. Maybe you just need a vacation. Maybe you just need to get away from where you normally live, just somewhere quiet and calm or relaxing so that you can have time to think. But the first thing you need to do is get out of your normal environment or clean up your normal environment so that you can change that environment so it can be a reflection of what you want, which is calmness, which is peace, which is grounding, and which is a feeling of safety and calm. Number 2, guys, I have a mindset detox guide on my website, www.cccwomensempowerment.com. Go on there and download it. This mindset detox is a full workbook that helps you get crystal clear on what you are going through at the moment, how you are feeling, what it is you want to change about your life, maybe some people or some situations that you need to forgive. It gives you time to really journal out your thoughts, reflect, and think through the next steps. It is a very short journal. It's my 5-day mindset detox journal, but that is the second way that you can start detoxing yourself. Go and get that journal. It's absolutely free if you haven't downloaded it already. It's on my website, free gift. You just put in your email address and your name and you will get it absolutely free. But the reason I bring this up, the reason I created that detox mindset journal is because part of detoxing your emotions is writing out and journaling through what you're going through. And in that mindset detox workbook, it's not just a journal, it's actual prompts. And it takes you through different exercises that can help you start to think about what it is you're experiencing and how to truly start detoxing your mind through written word. So go ahead, get it. It's absolutely free. But that's the second way that you can do an emotional detox, is to sit there and go through that mental detox and the exercises that I give you to really get yourself started. The third way is to make time for self-care. Now, you all, if you have followed me at any amount of time, you know I talk about self-care all the time. And self-care is a wide range of things you can do for self-care. You know, you can do self-care physically, you know, going to the gym, exercising, working out. You can do self-care, you know, getting your nails done, getting your hair done, getting your makeup done, you know, that glamour self-care. You can do self-care by slow living, just relaxing every day, drinking some tea, just taking your time, not overwhelming yourself. But the top three things that I feel like is really important when it comes to self-care, specifically for emotional detox, is meditation, number one, deep breathing, number two, and yes, physical movement. Now, the reason why I think all three of these are so important is because it's about bringing you to a level of self-awareness. Meditation helps to calm the mind. It helps you to get centered, and it helps you to stop that, you know, monkey mind that you may have that's just going, and, you know, running around. It helps your mind to calm down. When you are able to sit in a quiet space, close your eyes and just breathe and allow whatever thoughts that you want to come into your mind and go away, that is a part of meditation. Now, there are so many different types of meditation. You can go on YouTube and put in meditation. You're going to get so many guided meditations. So do whatever you want to do, but I suggest just sit in quiet and allow your mind to slowly rest. And if you need to, you can start counting backwards from 10 to 9 to 8 to 7 and just focus your mind on the numbers till you get to 1. And as you get down to 1, just slowly picture yourself like walking down a staircase. And when you get down to 1, it just goes into nothingness. Sometimes when I meditate, I may count backwards, or I might say, you know, what I'm so thankful for. And as I'm going through the list, or as I'm counting backwards, I envision myself sitting on a beach, because for me, being on a beach is so relaxing. So I envision myself being on a beach. And by the time I count down and I start seeing myself on that beach as I'm counting down, I am in this deep, relaxed state. And whatever comes in my mind, I just let it come and I let it go. And I just kind of breathe in my nose, not my mouth, and just continue to relax. The point of meditation is to give you an opportunity to be aware in your current state of your sensory, like what is happening in that moment. You're calming your breath, you're feeling your body, you're visualizing yourself maybe in a quiet, safe space, and you're allowing thoughts to come into your mind, and then you're allowing them to go away. Sometimes I have to tell myself when a thought comes in my mind when I'm trying to meditate, okay, I've thought about it, and now I'm going to put it up. I'm going to put it away in a box in my brain. I'm going to put it in a mental suitcase and put it away to another time. Put it on the shelf, and I'll think about that later. But for right now, the only thing I'm thinking about is Tiffiny relaxing, Tiffiny being calm. And what I've found is during meditation, I get to a space where I'm really not thinking about anything. And it's almost like, I don't want to say an out-of-body experience, but it's almost like I feel this feeling of relief and a feeling of bliss. And I know different people have similar experiences, and it may take you a while. I've been meditating for a long time, so it may take you a while to get there. But I promise you, the more you meditate, the more you will start to come to answers that you need. The more you will start to get problems solved that you need solved. Deep breathing is another thing. You know, even if you don't close your eyes to meditate, but just breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth, and allowing yourself to really take in a full breath. And again, finding that awareness. You're breathing into your nose. You're in the moment. You're not thinking about the past. You're not thinking about the future. You're just in that moment, focused on the breath. That is another way to help you mentally calm down and bring yourself to a deep self-awareness, which is part of your self-care. And lastly, making sure that you get some movement. The reason why I think this is so important is because when we are stressed out, so if you're sitting at your desk and you're working and you're stressed out, the worst thing you can do is just sit there and continue to recycle the stress into your brain. A quick way to break that stress is to get up and move around, whether you go for a walk outside or, you know, if you get up in the morning and go for a jog or go exercise. And it doesn't have to be intense. It just can be something that gets you moving. Maybe you need to do, you know, some jumping jacks before the next call that you have for your meeting at work, or maybe some push-ups, or maybe you just go for a walk again, or maybe you just go to the kitchen to get water. Sometimes just breaking where you are or a thought pattern you're in with movement helps you so much. So this type of self-care that I'm talking about is helping you get really centered in your awareness with meditation, with deep breathing, with movement, to really connect you to yourself and ground you to this moment, to this present moment, not the past, not the future, not something that hasn't happened yet and you're worried about, but in this present moment. To say, I am here. This is what I'm experiencing right now. I am in my body. This is what I'm feeling. These are the emotions that I'm feeling. And this is where I need to be. That is a deep form of self-care. And that is going to help you in the process of emotionally detoxing. The next thing you can do to emotionally detox is talk to a therapist. Get a professional that is a licensed therapist or counselor, because it may be that you've got some things going on that are coming from your childhood, coming from your past, that you just have not dealt with. And this is especially true if you just got a divorce or you've gone through a death in the family or something tragic has really happened. You may be grieving and you might need someone to talk to and really listen to what's going on inside your brain so that you can get it out. But a licensed clinical therapist can really help you talk through what's bothering you, get you to a place of understanding why things happen, what the root cause is of those deep emotions that you may not have realized was there, and really help you get the true therapy that you need to move forward. Now, for many of you, I am partnered with an affiliate partner of onlinetherapy.com. Definitely check them out. The link is below. It's onlinetherapy.com. They do clearly online therapy. Anywhere you are in the world, they can help you. So definitely, if you need to, check them out and talk to someone. Talk to a licensed professional. Trust me, it will help. Well, guys, that is it for me. I hope that helped. I hope it helped give you an understanding of what emotional detox is, if you're in a situation where you need to emotionally detox, and the different things that you can do to emotionally detox. Trust me, been there, done that, and I still sometimes need to emotionally detox because we are human beings and our life ebbs and flows. It goes up and down and you go through things. But the more you give yourself an opportunity to practice those things in emotionally detoxing that I discussed here in this video, the more you'll start to recognize when you're starting to get stressed out in the beginning, before it gets really bad, and you won't really have to do a full-on detox. You can just back up and say, okay, I think I'm getting stressed. Let me step back, let me think about the next steps, and let me make a better decision. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and definitely make sure, if you haven't already, you click on the link to my website. You might see that it's a little bit new, which I'm really proud of, but go ahead and download the Detox. Mindset Detox is a 5-day exercise workbook. Super simple, but it's going to help you in the process of emotionally detoxing. All right, guys, as always, make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.